Okay, good evening, YouTube. Now we are live. My name is Andrea. I am here for another Friday conversation, and I have with me some people to discuss about why do we avoid difficult conversation. I have just shared a video with the guys, by the way, a really good one. I hope you have liked it, guys. And I would like to explain how Talk and Talk works really quickly. Here we are in a platform to practice language such as English, Spanish, and French. This is not a class, this is just an immersion. I am not a teacher, I am a student. I am here to develop myself as you guys. We are in a safe place to do it because here we don't have judgment, we don't have corrections, but we learn a lot with each other, okay? So basically that's it. If you want to know more about this project, please go to our website, talkandtalk.com.br, and there you will find more information. I will need to divide us, guys, unfortunately, because I wish I could talk with all of you, okay? Because, we have 7 of us here. I think it's better. And 10 minutes before the end, I will bring you here again, and we can discuss how was the experience, okay? So let me see here. Just a moment. Yeah. Guys, that's it. If you receive the invitation, please accept. See you soon and have a great conversation, guys. Okay, here in the main room, I have Camila, Lucas Brizola, and Victoria. So, Camila, would you like to start introducing yourself, please?
Yes, sure. Good evening, guys. My name is Camila. I am 41. I live in São Paulo, in the capital. I've been here practicing my English and sometimes my Spanish since March 24. And I am also a English host here since June 24. I work as an accountant. In my spare time, I used to read books. I try again to take care of my healthy. So I am going to the gym, not every day, but I am in this process to develop. What else? It's always a pleasure to be here, to have this moment to practice my English and to improve a little bit and to try to communicate myself, my opinion in a different language. So that's it about me.
Nice. Thank you, Camila. Brizola, please, it's your turn.
Hello everyone, hello YouTube. My name is Lucas Brizola, but you call me Brizola. I am 29 years old and I'm from Sorocaba, São Paulo, Brazil. I live here with my mother and my dog Mel. I am single. I have two tattoos and a real passion for cooking, especially desserts. In my free time, I love reading, watching movies and the series, and listening to music. This year, I started studying English at the TALKNTALK, and every day I move closer to my main goal, becoming fluent and confident English. And soon I be a host. I am anxious and nervous, but excited about the experience. That's it.
Yes, I am really excited as well to participate in your immersion, Lucas. I will be
Thanks.
there for sure. Thank you. What about you, Victoria? I don't know if it's frozen or not. Maybe she's frozen. So I will introduce myself, guys. My name is Andrea. I'm 47. I live in Guarujá, the coast of São Paulo. I've been attending on this platform since October 2021 to improve my speaking skills. I'm still need to improve a lot so that I am here every day, okay? To practice and to learn from you guys. So let's do it. Victoria, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes. Can you introduce yourself,
yes.
please, for us to start? Okay.
Hel- Hello. Good evening, everyone. My name is Victoria. I I am 21 years old and I study of technology information and I professional in this field. I'm from Uberaba, Minas Gerais, and I live with my parents. In my free time, I enjoy reading books and listen to music. Is this?
Nice, Victoria. And you started here on Talk and Talk in Winter Intensive? Você começou aqui na plataforma no intensivo de inverno?
No,
No, before that?
no. I start maybe 2 weeks past.
Okay. So you are really new one here. Okay. Thank you, Victoria, for
Yes,
sharing. Let me see, guys. Let's start. The question number one or two. Would you like to read and answer, Brizola, please?
Yeah, what's come to your mind when you heard the phrase difficult conversation? Oh God, when I hear the phrase difficult conversation, I picture a high stakes exchange here. Emotions are running high. The outcome matters deeply, and there's potentials for tensions or misunderstand. It often involves navigating sensitive territory, addressing on comfortable truth or setting firm boundaries. When I hear you need to talk in a serious tone, I am fair escape. Do you know this expression, guys, or not? I am fair escape.
Fair escape? No, I have never heard before. Put
I
for
can,
us on the chat, please.
yeah,
Yeah,
I can.
can you explain, please? I want to
Yeah,
know.
I learned it from the TV series Modern Family, and I love it. Fire escape
Nice.
refer to choice emergence excited you'll find in your American apartment there. That are usually Z-shaped, and
Mhm.
it metaphor for when you want to sneak out or make a French excite. I love it.
Nice. Nice. Put for us on the chat, Brizola, please.
Yeah.
Please. What about you, Camila?
Oh my gosh. I think the video helped me a little bit because we always felt frustrated when we heard about difficult conversation I don't know, with parents, when in your job, in a relationship, we always start to suffer before, at least myself. I am an anxious person and I don't want to listen this kind of we need to talk. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, can you
Yeah.
call me? We need to talk. I have this today. And it was like so funny because 1 minute later I was calling, and then it was, oh no, just because I am without battery in my cell phone, and I was like, okay, that's no problem. So I guess I don't know if it's related to our education, because when our parents said, I need to talk with you, and then we suffered. I don't know in advance what we suffered, but in fact, I suffer a lot when I have this feeling, because we don't know, and I guess it can make us out of our comfort zone and can be a bad news. So I guess we always have bad feelings about it. But in the video, she gives us a different perspective. It can make the relationship improve in many
Exactly.
ways. And we avoid, and I don't know, maybe we don't want to talk about specific things that maybe we want to change, but we don't want to assess, you know what I mean? So I guess it's hard. I know that we need, but we avoid. That's the point, I guess.
Yes, Camila, I think you brought a really interesting point, because maybe it's because we grow up like when, for example, our parents said, I need to talk with you, and we get afraid, and
Yeah.
then we start thinking about it all the time that someone's say for you, oh, we need to have a conversation. We think that could be a bad thing, or a serious
Mhm.
thing, and we avoid that. It's automatically, in my opinion, our body, our mind avoid that. So it's really strange, But as you said in the video, the girl said about that it's necessary to have great conversations and difficult conversations to improve a relationship. Doesn't matter if it's in your job or if it's your personal life. I think all the time it's necessary because a small problem can become a big one because the lack of conversation. So even though it's difficult, it's necessary to have. And I totally agree with you guys. I think when I heard like difficult conversation, I always thinking about not bad news, but something that can makes me feel bored or stressed or something like that, right? We we don't expect so much good things, when we heard this phrase. So that's it.
Can I just
Yeah,
say something there
yeah,
really quickly?
please.
I guess we have an idea that we can control everything. In a
Yeah,
difficult conversation, we cannot control. And we suffer because, oh my gosh, I wasn't expect. So we have this kind of control in mind, and then something can change
yeah,
suddenly, and then you didn't expect. So I guess this is the feeling, like, oh my gosh, what
yeah.
can change right now? So I guess, I don't know, guys.
Exactly. And you said about the anxiety as well. I am very anxious, and if someone said for me, I need to talk with you, and we can do it tomorrow, guys, I
No.
will not sleep. For sure, I will not sleep because I am very anxious. So if you want to say something for me, don't say it for an advice, guys, in advance, because I will have problems, because I am very, it's not a curiosity, it's anxiety, it's completely different. Oh my gosh, it's terrible. So let's move on, guys. So, Camila, why do you think some conversations are so hard to have?
Mm, I guess sometimes we avoid some kind of conversation because we don't want to hurt someone, or we are not prepared to say or to be honest with the others because maybe they won't accept it in a good way, like if I need to speak with you and talk about something that makes you, I don't know, sad, it I need to try to I try to find the best word to not hurt you,
Mhm.
and then maybe the other person cannot accept my opinion. Even if I am right, the other person can judge me like, I don't know, Camila is trying to complain about myself, complain, I don't know, trying to hurt me. She's not a good friend. And maybe we are trying to do something for the other in a best way, giving I don't know, a tip, like, oh, can I give you a tip advice? And I think we we don't want to listen something bad for us. Imagine if I need to speak with you and say something that you don't want to listen. I would feel terrible. So I guess we don't want to have because it's not easy to face the truth, you know what I mean? I guess.
Exactly. And even when you find the better words to express
Oh.
yourself, it's hard to have this kind of conversation because you don't know how would be the reaction from the
Mm-hmm.
other person. And I believe that most of time, as you said, the person don't accept that.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a conversation, a difficult conversation with someone from my family a time ago, and it was so difficult. But I felt that I needed to do it, because I was overwhelmed about some situation, and I needed to say. It was hard because we cried, this kind of things. But in the end, everything goes well. Thank God. But it was really hard because you know that you are hurting someone, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know that. But it's necessary, guys. Even when you know that you will hurt the other, sometimes it's really necessary to have this conversation because there are some things that can become really like a snowball, you know. So we need to solve the problem before, I believe. What do you think, Brizola?
Yeah, I believe because they require us to expose your vulnerabilities and the confront emotionals with the harder avoid, such as fears, disappointment, or guilt, then can feel risks because we hear uncertain how the other person will react, and there's often a concern about the image and trust or or the relationships. What makes them truly difficult is that they demand honesty, courage, and emotional intelligence. All towns. Yeah.
Okay, and for you personally, do you
Oh my
think
God.
it's hard for you to have this kind of conversation? Are you a kind of person that avoids, or do you prefer face the situation and having this conversation?
Oh my God. I speak em português. Uh, eu odeio, eu odeio, eu evito o máximo possível, porque assim, como eu sou uma pessoa muito ansiosa, às vezes eu posso desabar na conversa, um assunto difícil que eu preciso falar para a pessoa, eu acabo me desabando mais do que a pessoa. Por isso que eu tento evitar o máximo possível, mas quando não tem jeito, daí eu tento me segurar ao máximo e falar com honestidade, com empatia, enfim.
Nice. And what about you, Camila? The same question.
Um, I am the kind of person who really loves to talk, and I try to get information sometimes in a funny way, when you have, I don't know, if I need to ask about you and your family, and then you can go and understand the other
Mhm,
better, and then you can get some, I don't know, signs
mhm,
about the other way to be, or about the family traumas maybe. So I really love to speak with the others. I don't have problems to have difficult conversations in my relationship, but inside my family, I know this is kind of a block. I had
mhm.
a doctor appointment today in my lunchtime, and the doctor asked me, "Do you have problems with your mom and father?" And I was like, "Yes, who doesn't?" But I was scary, like,
Why?
why? Yes. And then she started to ask me a little bit things that I am feeling pain in my body, in some
Mhm,
specific things like in my shoulder, in my arms. And then I
okay.
was trying to get some exams, and she make me things like, okay, we can talk later. But I always like to know about your parents, about your life inside of your house, traumas. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Really
So,
good doctor, by the
yes,
way.
imagine 5 minutes. And I was speaking because I always like to break the ice, in the
Mhm,
beginning of the appointment. And then she just stopped it and asked me this. And I was like, oh, yes, yeah, maybe. I was trying to avoid to
mhm,
access this kind of emotion. And I think she got it, like
mhm.
I think I know what is happening. So maybe I don't know what's happening inside of our family. We cannot have real conversations in eye to eye. We suffer to have this
Yeah.
conversation because it's depend of family they accept it or not. We can be, I don't know, without speaking with this person. So I guess this can be something that it's about family, different family, different way to deal. And I think this can be different for each person and each family, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, totally agree. And I was thinking here, guys, while you were talking, because as I said, tomorrow I am going to Paraty to see my mom, you know. And my mom is a stubborn person. And we have some problems with in our relationships. And I am really anxious about how would be it, because even though I am a time without seeing her, I know that it will be difficult, because
Mhm.
I need to be prepared for everything because I know she will charge me a lot, because this kind of things. And maybe let's see, I hope everything goes well, but I am expected this kind of things, maybe can be
Mhm.
difficult and I will need to have difficult conversations that I don't want, So, but it's family, as you said, sometimes uh, we need to have these conversations and sometimes we need to avoid to to not fight with someone,
Mhm.
it's this is the worst part for me, avoiding talking because you know that if you talk about something will become a fight. That's it. Let me see, guys.
Andrea,
Go ahead.
just to add, please.
See,
Um,
please.
um, in my case, I have this difficult conversation because my mother's side of the family is to direct more when it's come to difficult conversation. For example, when my father died in 2015, my out auntie
Yeah.
went went to the hospital and the doctor told her, and I remember to this day I was in bedroom and my aunt didn't even come in the house and and said it loudly, Givaldo dead, esse era o nome dele. Without empathy, unprepared, I
Mhm.
think I have a certain trauma because of this, maybe since then I have this fear.
Yes, and I believe that makes sense,
Mhm.
because it's not a good way to give this kind of news for someone, As you said, we need to be empathetic. It's empathetic, guys. Empathy, empathetic. I hope so. We need to be empathetic, empathetic each other, It's so hard. Can you imagine it? I am thinking about how you react with this answer, with this new that your aunt said for you, Brizola. Sorry about that. It's not a good way to say that. Let me see, guys. And I will start with you now, Brizola. Question number 5, okay? I will skip. Do you think avoiding a conversation can make things worse in a longer run? Why or why not?
Yeah, for me, absolutely. Sidestepping a conversation might often short-term relief, but unresolved issues often fester beneath the surface, eventually erupting into bigger problem. Avoidance can turn a small crack into a widen gap. For example, I avoid in the end of a relationship because you can have this conversation on or my own example, not wanting to listen, not realizing that my father day is coming because is getting ours every day.
Nice. And what do you think, Camila?
This is a good question, and I think it can be worse because imagine if I said for you that I need to talk with you about something that happened 2 years ago, and then you can and ask me, but why now? You you could say that 2 years ago, but why now? And then it's can be hard to explain that you are trying to solve something that passed. And I said 2 years, but it can be 10 years,
Mhm.
like if I need to speak with you and I will, I don't know, throw a bunch of things in you that happened in during these 10 years. And if I never had this conversation before and then I want to solve 10 years in
Yeah.
maybe the other person are not prepared for it, most of the time not. And sometimes I take some notes when I need to have a difficult conversation, and it can be worse from the other, like I have bullet points, and from the other person, it can be something like a affronta,
Mhm.
like, oh my gosh, this is a kind of interview. What is that? Or a psychology appointment. So I guess I take a while to decide to have a difficult conversation. Because of this, I take notes, but
Mhm.
sometimes I guess when it comes for so long, it's hard to explain about it, the feelings to recover everything and to try to explain your personal reasons. And I guess it's not the best way. And then it can be worse because we don't want to try because, oh, it was 10 years ago. Let's move on. Let's keep going.
Yeah, Camila, it's really difficult to thinking about that because maybe for the person that it's waiting like 10 years to have this kind of conversation with someone, I just imagine how this person is about their he- about their feeling,
Mm-hmm,
because
mm-hmm.
probably the other don't know about, you know the
Yes.
other don't know, but the person that wants to talk with something that happened 10 years ago, how this person is living with this feeling, I need to
For 10
talk, I need
years,
to
right?
talk, I need to talk. So it's like a grunge, mágoa,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's grunge, the word. uh, and I believe that it makes us feel sick, guys. Unfortunately, I think a lot about it. I try to not uh, have grunge with, from someone because of this. I know that the unique person that will be the word disappear of my mind now, will be damaged, will be hurted, is myself. So I always try to solve the problem, even though it's difficult, even though I need to avoid for, I don't know, 1 month, 2 months, but I will find a way to talk with the person because I think about myself, about my health. I believe that it can damage your health in somehow. So I don't know if you agree with me, guys, but I try to do it. And I don't know, it's really difficult. And I do believe that things just get worse, in a long term run. I totally agree. Let me see, guys. Talking about that, what do you think about the question number 7? Do you believe it's better to keep the peace or to talk the truth, even if it's uncomfortable, you know? Because sometimes we avoid a conversation to avoid having a fight. But how long do you think it's necessary to keep it, to avoid it? just to for you to feel better. I don't know if it's worth it. What do you think, guys? What do you think, Camila?
I I think that's the point for me. I take a while until I decide to have a difficult conversation, and then I don't know, I can spend months until I realize, okay, I it's enough. I cannot handle it. Or maybe, as I said, I take notes, I overthink it too much about the situation. I try to find a balance, and I try to realize if I am right to have this, to start this conversation, because no, I am not right all the time. I have some problems, I know, inside of this situation. But I guess I have some situation in my personal family that it's for, I don't know, 20 years,
Mhm,
and we are living a peace. But it's not true, if you take all the, I forgot the word, um I don't know, if you take everything out, you can
mhm,
see the ugly side, of
mhm,
it. So I guess we are trying to not see, to live our life. And I don't think, for example, imagine if I need to solve something for 20 years ago. Guys, I'm 41. Imagine. But it could be good for me, but it could be really damage for my family, if I sit down here, let's talk about it. And I don't think it's necessary, in my opinion. But I paid a lot of therapy sessions to try to solve it, so
mhm.
I guess I was interesting to solve, but not with the others. I take an appointment to try to solve and to try to not make it worse for me, not from the others,
Yes.
because everyone need to try to take a moment to think about it.
Yes, and I believe that all families have this situation, something not that it's not so a problem that it's not so solved.
Yeah.
And I agree with you, Camila, because 20 years ago, it's a long time, and I believe that we need to be good with ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
If you are good with you, okay. You don't need to open this box again and, searching about this kind of things. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
better to keep there, but try to be good with yourself. If I am good, okay, it's not a problem for me anymore. Because as I said, I believe that if you uh if you keep this grudge with you can be really damage for you, not for the
Mm-hmm.
other. So I try to thinking about it, about my health, my mental health and my health as well, because I think it's correlated, guys. I do believe on it. What do you think, Brizola? Thank you, Camila.
Wow, so hard. Uh, I believe it's in generally better to speak the truth if even when it's uncomfortable, because avoiding honesty can lead to misunderstand and erode the trust of over time. However, the way we communicate matters just as much as what we say. Delivering the truth with empathy, tact, and respect ensures that the conversation is constructive, or, or, rather than damaged. Sometimes maintaining peace might uh, seem easier in the short term, but honest fosters deep and more authentic relationships in the long run. Yeah. In my case, for me, I always prefer to be told the truth, no matter how much it hurts, because I believe time is heals. O tempo cura.
Yeah, good word that you said. I believe that, uh, I don't know, guys. It's hard to thinking about because I used to be a person that avoided to have some difficult conversation. I need to be honest. But I think nowadays is necessary. Of course, depending on the situations, as we were talking, the other question, 10 years ago, you don't need to you know, to search about the problem again. But if it's something that it's bother you, you need to talk, because you need to thinking about your mental health. I believe it's the most important. So let me see, guys. I think we can answer one more question before I bring the boys back. Camilo, would you like to choose another one that you think is interesting?
I need to
Please.
choose an answer or just choose because
You need to choose an answer.
oh God. Why do people, number 9, why do people sometimes choose silence over honesty? I guess because it's easier and we prefer to suffer instead of say the true words from someone else. And I know that I am like this. If I need to say something that I know that can become a fight, for example, not hurt someone, but can become a fight, I prefer the silent. Of course, I will overthink a lot after that, but I guess I need to be prepared. And because of this, I don't like to have a difficult conversation because I'm not prepared all the time. And it can
Exactly.
be something unexpected. So I guess I prefer because I need to not overthinking. I can be overthink. I need to overthink it to make sure that I am fair with the other. So I prefer silent. I can try later, but at the first impression, I try to I prefer to be silent, and then later I can speak.
Yes, I got your point. You analyze first, a
Yes.
lot, then it's necessary to say about that. If it's
Hmm.
not, if you can survive without talk with someone, okay, it's better to be in silence. If not, you need to talk, but you will overthink a lot about it. I am
I
a
am
little like you.
without sleeping, and the other person's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
sleeping very well."
Yeah, I don't know about. The problem is it's yours, not
In my
the other
mind.
person. Exactly. Thank you, Camila. What about you, Brizola?
Oh my God, Camila. Oh, I believe is sometimes silence feels like the path of least resistance. Is correctly pronunciation? Resistance. People may choice with when they're emotionally drained, when they want to avoiding is escalating conflicts, uh, or when then believe honesty might cause irreparable harm. Yeah, in some cases, silence it is also a way to protect themselves for rejection, or to buy time to process their 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 own feelings.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
it's a lot of things involved, right, guys? We need to
Mm.
think a lot. Because of this, it's difficult to have difficult conversation. Thank you, Camila. Thank you, Brizola. Guys, how was the conversation for you in another room? Was deep? Was difficult? Let me know, Hugo.
I think this topic it's very difficult. It's very difficult to talking about, but was a good conversation. Was I like a lot. That's it.
Nice. I do believe that it was difficult as well because I felt like that, Oh my gosh, sometimes I created the topic and why I created this topic, But I think it's nice to have this conversation, guys, because
Yeah.
sometimes we don't have it even in Portuguese. So let's try to do it in English, okay? Thank
Yeah.
you, Hugo. What about you, Denner? How was it for you?
Well, I like too much of conversation of today and the theme of hard conversations because many of us people we need to have relationships and have contact of other people. So many times there are be conflicts and misunderstandings when we talk of other people because exist many topics that can bring these problems. So many times it's necessary to have silence to avoid this, and the other times we don't have we need to have critical thinking to what we will speak and this is I think this is necessary to we have connections with other people in the contact with other people. We need to having critical thinking about we will talk and when we need to be silence. I think this is important to us.
Yeah, totally agree with you, Denner. Totally agree. As the video shows for us, sometimes we think that it's good to avoid this difficult conversation, but most of time it will help us, to solve the problem. Just we need just to find the balance, because it's not easy. Thank you, guys. What about you, Fabio?
I think this topic in Portuguese is hard. In English is very hard, but I really enjoyed the conversation. Today I had the experience of hosting, having my
Oh,
A2 level. My group
nice.
has very good. I really enjoyed. And do you create this topic? Do you are a villain?
No. Why? Why, Fábio?
I don't read the questions. Rapaz, a Andrea tava bolada aqui, viu? Muito
Yes.
inspirada.
As Brizola said, sometimes como é que é, Brizola? Eu dou uma brisada, okay, guys? It's normal. Thank you, Fábio. Camille and Brizola, do you like to say something? How was the conversation?
I love it, Daya. We need part two, maybe, I guess.
Yes, I think I will bring the part two. It was so deep.
I
Thank you,
love it.
Camila. And about you, Brizola?
I found that this topic is somewhat complex and delicate, but it's necessary for us to develop and become stronger people and be able to face everyday life. This difficult conversation, but I love it. In educationally speaking, as beautiful because I managed to bring many new words and the metaphors, and I happy to bring them. Thank you.
Nice, thank you. Guys, I put on the chat the survey and I would like to ask you to answer for me, okay? It's really important to keep improve the platform and to improve myself as a host as well. I always like to read what you put there. Feel free because it's anonymous, okay? And you can give me ideas about the topics that you want to see here. And of course, I will try. I will try, no, I will bring, okay? Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Camila, Fábio, Hugo, Denner, and Brizola. I hope you have a great weekend, not week. weekend. And my next immersion on Monday, guys, will be the courage to be disliked. I think it will be another hard one, but take a look on the planner and you can prepare yourself for the conversation, okay? Thank you, guys. Bye
Thank
bye.
you,
Bye
guys.
bye,
Good
guys. Thank you,
evening.
Andrea.